US Defense Department photographs showing Secretary Ash Carter and his guest, the Malaysian Defense Minister, aboard the USS Theodore Roosevelt. The nuclear-powered aircraft carrier is on patrol in the South China Sea. And while US officials say the carrier is staying within international waters, the Secretary of Defense had some blunt words, saying, quote, "If it's being noted today in a special way, it's because of the tension in this part of the world, mostly arising from disputes over land features in the South China Sea. And most of the activity, he says, over the last year being perpetrated by China." China has criticised the visit to the aircraft carrier and points out its long-held historical claims in the South China Sea do not restrict freedom of navigation. China's Foreign Ministry spokesperson says the US is being provocative on purpose.
What we oppose is waving the banner of freedom of navigation to push forward the militarization of the South China Sea and even provoke and threaten other countries' sovereignty and security interests. In this aspect, we hope the relevant actions and intentions of the US can be made more open and transparent.
The visit by the US Secretary of Defense follows a meeting of ASEAN defense ministers in Malaysia, where the failure to agree on a statement regarding the South China Sea was partly blamed on the US. It also follows naval talks between China and the US in Beijing. The US was criticized for conducting what Washington calls freedom of navigation patrols. Those patrols began last week when the USS Lassen missile destroyer purposely crossed within the 12 nautical miles of a reclaimed island in the Zhubi Reef developed by China. The US has vowed to continue patrols inside territorial waters. It has called on China and others to stop all land reclamation efforts, but has singled out China in its criticism and actions. Beijing, meanwhile, says the US is trying to insert itself into the South China Sea disputes and should not be where it doesn't belong. Nathan King, CCTV, Washington.